Hey guys, it's Darman Fett here, and before you click out of this video thinking, oh no, another Battlefield 3 video, this video is actually about Star Wars Galaxies Emulator. This is a frequently asked questions video, and I actually typed this up. I have about 9 questions, and I have 21 minutes to answer those, and that's a little bit longer than a normal video, but I will be heavily explaining, going very in-depth with these questions. A lot of these questions are questions people ask in game or have posted on my videos, and I like answering questions on my videos, but you know, it's nice to not have to for you, for new users or new watchers and new users of that emulator, not to have to constantly be asking people. So stuff like that. So I guess the first one, we'll just start at the beginning. Is it active? Yes, we are still active. The devs are still working on this very continuously throughout the year. Not obviously during the summer. There's a little bit more activity. There's a lot more testing. There's a lot more development, just because there's more testers. There's not as many kids in school, stuff like that. So during the year, not during the summer, it is a little bit. There isn't as much testing or development and testing, which, I mean, it's kind of normal for these kind of for emulator projects in general to have that lack of. It's still there. It's just kind of slowly chugging along, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I mean, say there's not as many users on, you should don't be disappointed if you're playing during the summer. You don't see 2,000 people on the server, and the forums are constantly being active and stuff like that. It's just because there's not a whole lot of people who can play during school because of homework, or I would want to play during school, because I mean you'd have to stay up later and stuff like that. So that's the answer to that question. That yes, we are still active. Is it still being developed? I kind of answered that before, but yes, it's still being developed. There's a whole team of developers. There's also a community relations team that they aren't like developers, but like I know one of them is Vlada. I hope I'm saying his name right. He posts on the forums all the time. He seems like a cool guy. I've never actually like talked to him on Skype or anything like that, but he seems like a really cool guy. He's not the only one on that team, the community relations team. There's a lot of other people that are, just people that who've been with the project for a while, and who are level-headed, basically, I guess you could say. And another question: what's been done so far? And I can't talk about everything that has been done. I can link to a post, which I'll put in the description. There's a forum post that they update semi-regularly on the forums that lists everything they've done, everything that's not been implemented, and everything that is sort of implemented that really doesn't work completely right but is there. Stuff like that. I will link that post because there is so much stuff. I will say one thing, a lot of people, if you've played the pre-CU, Creature Handler is not in the game yet. So that's a big one. A lot of people. Don't let that discourage you though. I want to try Creature Handler just as much as anyone else because I never played pre-CU. I never played NG either. This is the only one I've played. So I want to try Creature Handler just as much as the next guy. But I mean, and I know for you people who have played the pre-CU and who have played Creature Handler, how much you miss it, because I talk to people, and they really miss playing Creature Handler because they loved it so much, and I get that. But I mean, for the pre-CU experience and from what I've heard and how much people loved it, I mean, can't you endure another 5 years of testing to play? I don't know. So what's up with the different servers? That's another big one. There's currently, at the time of this recording, it's the 10th, and actually, I should probably. Let's see here. I'm just quick opening up my web browser. Hold on. This is unprofessional. But I actually might be able to read on the forums a little bit. about the previous question, what they've been done. Here, let me look. And another quick question is, where do we sign up for this and stuff? It's actually swgemu.com is where you sign up for this stuff, or the account that will let you log in to the server. So, and also the background that you're seeing is just there so it looks, I didn't just want to be talking. So, hold on, let me get the form up, and it's the date specifically is the 10th of February of 2012. So, let's see here. I think it is. Nope. I'm looking on the forums right here. Just hold on a second. Just trying to get I'm trying to find this one post. It should be. Come on. Oh well. That's too bad. It's gotta be in here somewhere. It's gotta be, oh well. Oh well. Okay. Anyways. I'll forget that line of thought. So I'll just kind of explain the different servers. Right now, as of this date, when you log in, you'll see 3 servers. You should see 3 servers, and that is Liberator, Test Center Nova, TC Nova, and STM. So, first let me go back like 3 years here. I've been playing this, I think, for about 3 years, 3.5, maybe a little bit less. And say, okay, so let's go back 3 years. Was one server 3 years ago. One server. That was Nova. Called it Nova. That was the name. One server. There was no testing server. That was the testing server, but it wasn't wiped every week like the one is now. So go ahead. However long we've had Liberator, or however long we've had. So okay. So 3 years ago, a little after, I think it may be a year and a half later, after, say 3 years ago, and then go like a year and a half, we got this new server called OR, which stood for Object Restructure, Object Redevelopment, something like that. Basically, and that server now is Nova. So they deleted Nova, and they got this server called OR. And people were like, well, this is going to be wiped every week. And they started whining and complaining, and I would have been fine with it. I mean, I was okay with it being wiped every week. I still liked the game. But because of, the amount of people that were quitting, they said, okay, we'll bring back Nova, which was not the Nova now, but the old Nova, which is now Liberator. And so, that's what that is now. So 3 years ago, there was a server, and that's now Liberator. And now they developed OR, which is now Nova, the test center. Nova's their code name for testing. It's always been for testing. It's never been for anything else. But 3 years ago, the test center was kind of our Liberator. 3 years ago, our Liberator server was actually our test server. But then they were developing, we didn't, or at least I didn't know at the time, they were developing a whole new code. It was completely different than what Liberator is. It's not compatible. They can't. That's why they can't transfer characters or do any of that stuff, because it's completely different. So, all right. So now we're in present right now. So we got Liberator, which was 3 years ago was Nova, or more. I mean, you can go back further. There's also Nova, which is Test Center, which is always going to be for testing. There's also STM. So, since you know what Nova and Liberator already are, let's talk about STM. STM is the new server that's going to replace Liberator. And eventually, they have to delete Liberator. It's old code. It's not going to be developed. It can't be developed because of the way the new code is. So, STM will replace it. And that's pretty reliable information. That's I can't it's pretty reliable information. Um, you can't access it unless the devs specifically would like post and say you can get on the STM server. Otherwise, you can't get on it. So, and then what STM is it's Nova, but it's a little bit more updated. It should be, and not necessarily. I haven't been on it, so right at this time, it could not be as updated. I don't know. So, Nova is always going to be for testing stuff. It's even when Sun Crusher comes out, which is the code name for like version 1, like they're releasing. That's when it's like to the point where it's pre-CU. When that comes out, Nova's still going to be there. They're still going to be testing stuff on Nova. That's what it's always going to be. So, STM, which is also stands for something I can't remember right now, but STM will be named obviously when they release it. It's not going to be really in Liberator because that just cause, or at least I hope it won't be, because that would cause a lot of confusion. But that's what it will be. That's what it will be replacing. So, let's see here. Do you have to own the discs? Legally, yes. I actually bought them on Amazon. I physically have them. I can, like, they're right over there. I can see them, but you don't. The devs can't tell the difference. Okay. If you do some looking, they can't. You can get them other places on the internet, and you can still play the game, is what I'm saying. And because it's such a small, basically, okay, it might even not be illegal anymore because Sony shut down their official servers, so you can probably get them without any legal repercussions, even if they did decide to like sue you or something or charge you for them. It's already, Sony's done. Having you torrenting the discs or downloading the discs from wherever, from the Pirate Bay or whatever, isn't legal. I don't even know if they can take legal action because they're already done with the game. So that could be wrong information. It probably is. It's probably still legal. But to be honest with you, it's such a small community that there would never be any action taken against you probably. I've known like a lot of people who played this emulator with discs that they didn't physically own, and I'm not a dev, so I'm not gonna get in trouble for saying that. And I actually physically own them, so I can't get in trouble for saying this either. So I mean, and to be completely honest with you, you're gonna have to end up doing it eventually because they don't make those discs anymore. So I mean, I guess it's up to you if you want to, if you can find them on Amazon. If there's even people who are selling them now, I don't know. I'm not sure. So I would say just go ahead and download them. And then the other question, I guess, is where can I get the discs? That's another big question, and that is, I bought mine on Amazon. You can probably find them on there, possibly eBay. Although I would not trust eBay at all. Let's see. Missions. How do I get credits to, not missions, but the main thing, main question is, how do I get credits to, which is basically the in-game money, to, to level up by my skills. Not levels. There's only skills, but how do I buy my skills and stuff? Because they do get extremely expensive later on when you get into the very advanced ones, the top trees and stuff. So I would start from the very beginning, just start doing missions. Every major city near a starport, there's going to be a mission terminal, and what you do is you can just accept a mission. It'll be a waypoint. It'll point you in the right direction, and you just you go there. And then you destroy a lair, which is basically just an animal, like, spawn location. And, it can be kind of dangerous. Like, there's not necessarily... because the more you kill it, the more you hurt the spawn, or the monster. Jeez. I'm messing up. Like, I'm having a blank for some reason right now. Lair. Yeah. The more you hurt the lair, like, every so often, it'll it'll spawn animals, or it'll spawn the mobs, which is animals or whatever. Right now, though, that's how it works right now on Liberator. I can't tell you how it's supposed to work. I don't know. I've never played. Like I said, I've never played Pre-CU. This is only what I've played, and I deal with the bugs as the bugs. That's why I can't really test this game, is because I don't know the bugs unless they tell me, and they don't have the time to tell me the whole how Pre-CU was, you know. So, what I would really recommend doing, and I said this in the guide, but if you haven't watched my guide at all, and I will be restarting that when Sun Crusher comes out. Maybe sooner, probably not though. I'll probably do it when Sun Crusher comes out. I would start with one. You can have multiple characters. Now I don't know how that's going to be in the final version. That might not be that way, but in the final version, or at least now, I mean now, you can have more than one character. So the first character, if you're just starting out, would be Terakasi, which is basically, if you've played other MMOs, that's basically like the tank character. So, basically with the tank character, which is Terakasi, it's kind of like, I guess you could think of it kind of as like karate, almost. There's a lot of Star Wars lore involved with this class, and I know it. I'm just not gonna take the time to like sit here and explain to you tons of books I've read what it is. But basically, think about it as kind of like a karate. You hit with your fist, or you hold like a something called a vibro knuckler, which is basically just like brass knucklers. If you're into like mob stories or whatever. Or whatever those. I know they're in Team Fortress 2. But, anyways. They do insane amounts of damage, and they can take insane amounts of damage. So what I'd do is I would start with that, and what I would do is I would do missions. And because you can take a lot of damage and deal a lot of damage out, you can do those missions fairly quickly and get a lot of credits built up, eventually buy a speeder. Depending on the market, I can't tell you what the market's going to be. I would say don't pay over $20,000 for a speeder, but that's how it is on now on Liberator, and I don't know how that's going to be on when the Liberator gets deleted and STM gets moved to it. I don't know how the market's going to be different, or how the XP rates are going to be, and all that stuff. Because right now, I'm not sure about Liberator, but at least on Nova, the test center, like XP rates are increased. I don't know about Liberator. They could be. So, yeah. I can't tell you exactly how much stuff should cost. So, let's see. What else? Speeders is what you want to get before you get anything else while you're doing missions, if you play as a Terakasi. And, yeah, because it helps you get out there so much quicker than walking out there. Another thing is, or if you want to get your credits to your other, so what I'd do is I'd get that Terakasi, I'd get the Master Terakasi, which could take you a little bit I'm sorry. It could take you a little while. Then what you can do is call it something called dual tabbing and open two windows up. You just start it twice. You tab out of your main window that you opened up, and you can tab out. That depends how good your computer is. If not, I would wait until you know someone for a really long time in game, and you trust them quite a bit to transfer money between your to your second character, who you'd want to level up, who you don't want to have to worry about credits or whatever, or if you just want to give like a speeder to them or something, you know, so when doing missions on your second character that you really do want to play, like say Rifleman, you know, I really like Rifleman, like I really like it, but Terakasi is really fun too, just because how much damage you do. Tanks are always fun to play, I think, so that's personal opinion. But I would do that. I would recommend that if you're just starting out. Just kind of quick recap. We're still active. It's still being developed. You don't necessarily have to own the physical discs. Yep, that's about it. We're coming to the end of the video here. I actually get first place which isn't a huge accomplishment on a 64 meat grinder server, uh, which is basically just killing each other over and over. And I really only got first place because I healed so many people. But I like healing people, so this is I think my first post commentary, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I know it's a little bit longer, but I know the footage didn't relate to the topic, but you know, it was. I think we covered a lot. And if you do have any questions I didn't put in this, and if you think I need to make another video to answer those questions, I'll of course answer your question in a comment if I can. Um, just a quick update on my Skyrim and Mass Effect Let's Plays. I still have to kind of edit those. I really don't want to edit the next Mass Effect episode because I kind of was eating chips and it sounds really loud and I didn't realize that and I shouldn't have done that, so I don't even know if I should upload that. I might just skip it. I still have to re-record that one episode of Skyrim. Thank you to Alex for letting me know about that because I didn't and I was stupid. But we're ending near the end here, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.